Hey friends, Michael from Essential Guitar Lessons, and let's learn how to play Wherever I May Roam by Metallica. This is an awesome song for intermediate players. As usual, I'll break this into sections for you to make it easier to learn. I'll show you all the different parts of the song. Now we'll be using power chords, palm muting, slides, hammer-ons, trills and single notes. So let's make a start. So our first part we're going to call Intro 1. We're going to play our E power chord. So open E string, 2nd fret on the A string, 2nd fret on the D string. We play that once. Now we come up to the 7th fret. We play that once on the A string. Then we play it again and we hammer onto the 8th fret. And then we go back to the 7th fret again. So we have. And while we're doing that, we want that top E string to ring throughout this entire riff. So open, 7, hammer onto 8, 7. Now we come to the D string, we play the 5th fret, then we play it again and slide up to the 7th fret, and then we play the 8th fret on the A string. So we have. And our next part, we're going to go back to the 7th fret on the A string and also play the top E string open. And then we do our 7th fill again, 7 on the A string, 7, hammer onto 8, back to 7. And that's the start of the lick, so let's do that slowly. And we do that through 2 times. Last part, we're going to come back to an A power chord, so just open A string, 2nd fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G string. Then we go to a B flat, so 1st fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the D and G string, play that once. Move it up to the 2nd and 4th fret, and then move it up to the 3rd and the 5th fret. So we have. And that's intro 1. So let's try that up to speed now. Now we do that again. Then we have our drums come in. And our A, B flat, B and C at the end there. And that's our intro part 1. Now we have intro 2, and that's nearly exactly the same. We're putting a few more open E strings in. We play the E power chord again, so the same as before. We come up to our 7, pick that once, hammer onto 8, so we pick it again. Now we're going to do a trill. So all that means is we're doing a hammer on and a pull off on the 7 and 8 as fast as we can. So we have. And there's not quite that many in there, we just do as many to keep us in time. So then we play our O and 7 again. Our 5 on the D string, 5 2 times and slide up to 7. Back to the 8 and our O and 7 again, and then we do our 7 with the fill and the little trill on the end. So 7 hammer onto 8, 7 and 8 trill, and then our A, B flat, B, C. So let's play that slowly now. To speed. And that's our intro 2. Now our next part is intro 3, and that's nearly exactly the same. We're just changing the end of it. So we have the same part again on our E power chord, coming up to our 7th fret, play and then play again, hammer onto 8 and then our trill, O and 7, 5 on the D string, 5 again, slide up to the 7 8 on the A string, O and 7, and now fill again, 7, 7 hammer onto 8, 7 and 8 trill. We do our A, B flat, B and C. Now this is where it changes. We're going to palm mute and just play single notes on the A string, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have palm mute, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll play our 7 again on the A string, hammer onto 8, and then our trill. For that last little part. So let's try that slowly now, adding our 5, 6, 7, 8 on the end, and then our 7 hammer onto 8 and 7, 8 trill. So slowly. Our chords. Run up. So now let's try it up to speed. Then after that we have intro 4. Now we're sort of continuing on from the last lick. We'll do our O and 7, and then our slide from 5 on the D string, so 5, 5, slide up to 7, and then our 8, back to our O and 7, our 7, 7 hammer onto 8, 7 and 8 trill, and then our chords, and then we do our palm muting, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's the end of part 4 there. So we have and it's finished on an E power chord there. So let me play part 2, 3 and 4 all together so you can see how they join up. Part 3. Part 4. We're finishing on that E chord. So now let's try intro 5. This is pretty easy. We're going to play an E power chord. So open top string, 2nd fret on our A and D string. And we're just holding that. And then we go to an F power chord, but we're going to pick the notes. So we play the 1st fret, the 3rd fret, and the 3rd fret. So we have E. We hold that for a bar, and then our F. So we're just picking the E, A, and D string there. 1st fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret. Then we go back to the E minor chord. This time we're going to pick the E string, then the D string, the A string, and then the G string. Once we've done that, we go back to the F power chord, play the E, A, and D. So let's put that slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, the F, and then the E minor, and back to the F. And that's our intro 5. Let's try that up to speed. 3, 4, and then our E minor, back to our F. And that's intro 5. Now we have our verse, and this is pretty easy. We've got our E power chord again. We hold that for 4. Now we have our B flat, so we're playing the 1st fret on the A string, the 3rd fret on the D and G string. We play that once and hold for 4. 3, 4. Back to our A power chord now, so we have open A string, 2nd fret on the D and G, and we hold that for 4. 3, 4, and back to the B flat for 4 again. 2, 3, 4. So let's do that up to speed now. 2, 3, B flat. 2, 3, A. 2, 3, 4, and back to B flat. Now we have a palm mute on the top E string we're playing. And back to our E power chord. 3, 4, we're holding that for 4. Now there's two different guitar parts here. There's the heavy part and there's a clean part. So let me show you the heavy part first. We're just doing our 2 palm mutes. Then E, back to our B flat power chord, holding for 4. Now we go to a G power chord, so 3rd fret on the E string, 5th fret on the A and the D string, hold that for 4, 3, 4, and back to our B flat again, 2, 3, 4. So let me join that whole part together that we've got now. The second part of it's where the clean guitar comes in, and I'll show you that in a minute. So starting with our E, 2, B flat, A, back to our B flat, our palm muting, E again, B flat, now our G, and back to our B flat. So with the clean section, we're starting on E minor. We're going to play the top E string, then the A string, and then the bottom E string and the B string, and we're going to do that twice. So. Then we'll go to our B flat. This time we're playing the A string, the D string, and then the B and the G, and we do that twice. Then after that we've got this unusual B flat chord, but we're going to be putting a G bass on it. So you do your B flat exactly the same, and take your second finger and place that on the 3rd fret on our top E string. We play that once. Then we go to the A string, and then we play the B and the G string again, and we do that 2 times. And then we just go back to the B flat again, A, D, B and G, and do that 2 times. So let's try that up to speed now, starting on our E minor, using our B flat over G, and back to B flat. B flat, G bass, and back to our B flat again. And that's the clean guitar over the second part of the verse. So now back to our heavy guitar. We've done our palm muting, our B flat, our G, and our B flat. 2, 3, 4. We hold that for 4. Then we do it 2 more times on that B flat. Come up to the B, play that once, and the C once. So we have. We're going to do our run, which is palm muted, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the A string. So it's very similar to our intro, except we're doing 2 on the B flat instead of the A. So we play our 7, hammer on to 8, and then our 7 trill, our O and 7 power chord. We do our 5 on the D string, do it twice and slide up to 7. Play the 8, back to the O and 7. So it's pretty similar to the intro. We do our 7, hammer on to 8, and our trill, and then we play our run again. A, B flat, B, C. So let's do that slowly. And up to speed. So now let me play me that whole verse for you, putting it all together. I'll leave out the clean guitar there. So starting on our E, 2, 3, 4, our B flat, our A, back to our B flat, our palm muting, our B flat, our G, back to our B flat, and now our run. that's our verse. Our next part's the pre-chorus. Now we're going to come to an F power chord, so first fret on our top E string, third fret on our A and D string. We do that 2 times open, then 2 palm mutes, then an open, 2 palm mutes, and an open. So we have, and up to speed. Now we're going to do this hammer on and trill again, except we'll come to the 2nd fret on the D string, hammer onto the 3rd fret, and then we do a trill between the 2nd and 3rd fret. So we have, and up to speed. Then we do the same, except we do it on the E power chord this time. So 2 offs, palm muting, off, palm muting, off. We do the trill again, 2 hammer onto 3, and then our 2, 3 trill. So that's. Then we do the same thing, but this time on our B flat, off, off, mute, off, mute, off, and then the trill again, 2, 3, and then our trill. So let's do that slowly. Hammer on a trill, B flat, hammer on a trill, and up to speed. And that's our pre-chorus. Then we have our chorus after that, and that's really easy. We just play the A power chord, we hold that for a bar, and then our G power chord for a bar. 2, 3, 4. So let's join that together with the pre-chorus now. B flat, A, then to our G. And that's our chorus there. Now our next part is the pre-verse part 1. Now we're just playing the E power chord again, and then playing the F power chord, but we're arpeggio picking, so 1st fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret. So playing the E, A and D string. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we just do that. So it's similar to the first verse. We're not going to the next chords after that, we're going straight into the verse. So it's just E, and then our F, and then back into the verse. Our next part's the bridge. Now we're starting on our open E power chord again. Coming up to the 7th fret on the A string, we're playing the 7, and then hammering 7 onto 8, and then doing our trill 7 and 8. So let's do that slowly. Then we're going to the D string, we're playing 6, hammering onto 7, and then doing a trill between 6 and 7, and then playing 9 and 10 on the D string, and then playing the 9th fret on the G string. So slowly we have. And up to speed. Then we do our power chord E again 2 times. Now we're just doing a run. We're going 7th fret on the A string, 8th fret on the A string, come to the D string, we play 6 and 7, then 9 and 10, then on the G string we play 8 and 9, then on the B string we play 7, 8, and then back to 8 on the G strings. So let's try that slowly there. Now he's also doing a palm mute on the run, so we have. And not palm muting on the B and the G string, the 7, 8 and 8. Let's do that again slowly. And And let's do that up to speed. Palm muting on the first part of the run, the 7, 8, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 8, 9, and then not on our last part there, our 7, 8, and 8. So up to speed. And we just play through that twice. The second time they put a harmony on the guitar. So let's play that up to speed now, the two parts together. And that's our bridge there. The next part is our riffs in the solo, and they're very similar to the intro. So we have our E, we come up to our 7, hammer onto 8 and our trill, O and 7, our slide from 5 on the D string, back to our O and 7, our 7, hammer onto 8, 7, 8 trill. Now this time we play our chords A, B flat, B, C, and then we come up to an E power chord and we stop there. So we have so that's one of the riffs in the solo. The next riff is similar to the verse. We're going to play our E power chord, hold for 4, our B flat power chord, hold for 4, our G power chord, hold for 4, back to our B flat, hold for 4, and then we do our 2 on the B flat, play B and C, and then our run palm muted, 5, 6, 7, 8, our 7 hammer onto 8, and our trill, our O and 7, slide on the 5th fret, 8, back to our O and 7, our 7 and 8 trill, and then we do our run again and we do the stop on the E power chord. So A, B flat, B, C, and stop on our 7 and 9 there. So we play that up to speed. Our B flat, our G, back to our B flat, and then we have our run. Stop again on our 7 and 9 power chord. The next part is our chorus 2. Now we're adding a little bit more onto the first chorus. We have our A power chord now, hold for 4, our G power chord, hold for 4, so same as before. Now we're going to a C power chord, so 3rd fret on the A string, 5th fret on the D and the G string, hold that for 4. Then back to our B power chord, 2 and 4, hold that for 4, and then back to our B flat, 1 and 3. And that's our second chorus. Let's play that up to speed. And G, our C power chord, our B, and then our B flat. The last part's our outro. Now we're going to start this on our O and 7, do our slide from the 5th fret on the D string, 8th fret, O and 7 again, our 7 hammer onto 8, and our trill, and then our run, our single note run, and then our 7 and 8 and our trill there. So we have up to speed. And that's our outro. He keeps playing that right through to the end. So they're all the parts of the song. Let's put it together now. So starting with intro 1, we do that one time, then intro 2 once, intro 3 once, intro 4 once, then intro 5 once. Then we go to the verse, we do that once, pre-chorus once, chorus 1 we do one time, then we go back to the intro 2 times 1, intro 4 times 1, back to our pre-verse now, by 1, that's just our E and F power chords, back to our verse by 1, our pre-chorus by 1, chorus 1 by 1, then our bridge, and we do that 2 times, our pre-chorus by 1, our chorus by 1, back to our intro 2 by 1, then we have our solo by 1, our pre-chorus by 1, chorus 2 by 1, and then intro 3 by 1, and then we finish with our outro till the end. So lots of little different parts in there, but it is fun to play. Now, if you're having any problems with this song, or there's one you'd like to learn, leave a comment. Give us a like and subscribe for heaps of free songs and lessons. Now, if you would like step-by-step guitar lessons for beginners to advanced players and learn all the secrets to playing all your favourite songs and solos in no time, also heaps of free lessons, click the link below and jump onto Essential Guitar Lessons. So I hope you enjoyed this, keep up your practice, and I'll see you soon.